Coming up on Mountain News at 6, 2 children are dead after a house fire in Martin County. And another school in eastern Kentucky receives an electric school bus.
Plus, we are tracking unsettled weather at times for the weekend. Your forecast coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Folks in Martin County are mourning the deaths of 2 children after a fire tore through their home this morning. That early morning fire brought several fire departments to Tug Fork Road in the Turkey Creek community. They found the home engulfed in flames around 8:15 this morning, leaving a family in mourning. Sheriff John Kirk says 4 people were inside the home at the time of the fire, but only 2 made it out. Coroner Chris Todd says 1-year-old Jason Lee Millette and 4-year-old Grayson Markham died in the fire. Officials say the 2 people who made it out were taken to the hospital. Their condition is not known. It is also not known what caused the fire. Authorities in Pulaski County are waiting for a murder suspect who slipped out of his ankle bracelet in Somerset to return to Kentucky. 24-year-old Sam Baker was arrested in Kansas recently on local charges. His capture came after he had escaped from his ankle monitoring device late last month. Baker was charged with the 2021 murder of Robert Claunch. Police say Baker will face additional charges, including possession of a firearm when he returns to Kentucky. A Floyd County man is behind bars after leading deputies on a chase. The incident happened last week and started with 49-year-old Keith Dougie Webb of Dwale in a vehicle, but he later tried to escape on foot. Deputies were able to find the home he went to and later seized fentanyl and meth along with other drug paraphernalia during a search. Webb is facing several charges, including wanton endangerment. He was taken to the Floyd County Jail. A Corbin man is facing charges for his role in an assault case. Deputies with Corbin PD responded to reports of a domestic assault at an apartment complex in Corbin yesterday. After an investigation, officials determined an assault did happen near children. 44-year-old Kevin Barnett faces multiple charges and was taken to the Whitley County Detention Center. One London man was taken into custody after a traffic stop last night. Deputies with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office arrested 39-year-old Matthew Allen on South Main Street in London. When deputies arrived at the scene, they conducted an investigation and determined Allen had possession of a firearm and determined he was a convicted felon. He was charged with possession of a handgun by a convicted felon and illegal possession of a legend drug.
Well, after soggy weather to kick off your Friday earlier this morning, we are tracking some drying weather, but also some cloudy weather across the region into this evening. Here's a live look from UVA WISE. You can see a few raindrops on the camera lens as a few more spotty sprinkles continue over in Southwest Virginia. As you can see on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, for most of us, a clean sweep at this hour. But again, a few light showers over far southeast Kentucky and Harlan County, also into Southwest Virginia for Lee County, into WISE, also Dickinson and Buchanan counties as well. So a few showers cannot be ruled out into this evening for those far southern counties, but for most of us, we are dry at this hour, and those temperatures stay above average as well in the middle to upper 50s, up to 59 for London, 57 for Somerset, 55 over in Pikeville, also Jackson. So once again, we are above average, and temperatures do not fall too much as we go into tonight. We fall into the middle and lower 50s to wake up and kick off the weekend as more above average weather is on the way for this weekend. Those details plus the details on some rain chances coming up as Mountain News at 5:30 and 6 continues. Steve.
Cameron, thank you. The Barberville Independent School District is the second school district in the mountains to be presented with an electric school bus. The school got the bus after receiving a grant that paid for a large portion of it. WYMT's Madison Carmouche has more.
The rain did not stop the Barberville Independent School District from celebrating the arrival of their first EV school bus.
We're just ecstatic that we're able to make this purchase, and we've had, like I said, we've had a lot of good partners, and A lot of hard work went into this, writing the grant and getting all the numbers we needed. So it was a team effort to make this happen.
A majority of the bus was paid for through a grant, so in total, the school paid just a little more than $50,000 for a vehicle worth nearly $400,000.
We're very fortunate here to be able to bring some of that money into Eastern Kentucky. We got some others that'll be delivering soon, and we're really excited that we could actually utilize the funding here.
The bus holds 72 passengers and goes from 0% charged to fully charged in 4 to 6 hours. On a full charge, it can travel 138 miles.
Everybody's worried that we're going to run out of fuel, but our bus routes are set up where we'll have enough charge, we'll get your kid there, and your child will be on a quiet bus. I mean, the electric bus is very quiet.
Both the school and Boyd Truck Center officials agree that the students will benefit from this upgrade.
I believe that they're a little bit interested in just to see what it's like. I don't know if they thought we were getting some kind of spaceship or just some regular kind of bus.
We're getting a lot of feedback that says, since the bus is so quiet, that the kids are more comfortable. They're better behaved.
The school says they are looking forward to helping other districts decide on an EV school bus. In Barberville, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
A requirement of the grant was that the school had to get rid of one of their diesel buses that was older than 2009. Drivers in Middlesboro will want to take note of a closing planned for next week. Officials at the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet have announced the roundabout on Kentucky 2079 will be closed starting Monday. They say the shutdown is due to concrete repair operations taking place there next week. KYTC asked drivers to be careful in the work zone and expect significant delays when traveling through that area. A court victory for Governor Andy Beshear today against the state legislature. The State Court of Appeals ruled unanimously that governors have a right to challenge actions of the General Assembly and spend public money to do it. The Kentucky Lantern reports Attorney General Daniel Cameron defended the legislature, but the appeals court said the Constitution says the governor is to oversee how laws are executed and has what it called comprehensive authority to decide how money appropriated to his office is spent. The countdown is on to the 2024 legislative session, and child advocates are pushing for action on several fronts, including poverty, academic challenges brought on by the pandemic, and mental health counseling. Terry Brooks with Kentucky Youth Advocates says he's already communicating with the legislature and the governor's office about key issues.
If I were waving my magic wand, and neither the General Assembly nor the governor has given me that wand, I would use this budget to really undergird child care, really get that solid. And then let's think further down the line about universal pre-K.
The 2024 legislative session convenes on January 2nd. The Whitley County Fiscal Court is helping make improvements to the sheriff's office and jail. WYMT's RJ Johnson spoke with Judge Executive Pat White about those projects.
Last week, the Whitley County Fiscal Court approved the purchase for new tasers for the sheriff's office.
A few weeks ago and mentioned that they were really struggling at how to replace their tasers. And tasers are much more expensive than people would think.
Whitley County Judge Executive Pat White says it'll allow officers to not have to resort to pulling a firearm.
They don't have to try to use physical force with them, and certainly don't have to access their firearm if they're able to catch them with the non-lethal option.
He says they also approved transport vehicles for the Whitley County Detention Center.
Those jail vehicles are used a lot for transports, so if they have to transfer to another jail, or if they have to pick someone up for another jail for us to house, or if they have to bring people to court.
Saying some of the existing vehicles are outdated and will be served as replacements when necessary.
They did have some vehicles there at the jail. Some of them were very aged, had a lot of miles on them, so I think some of these will serve as replacement vehicles. You know, if you have that many employees on the road and that many inmates being housed, sometimes a lot of them need to go a lot of places at one time. And
White says he's happy to see the funding approved to better support emergency personnel in the county.
I think all of these projects are working toward the goal of trying to improve safety for the employees and the accused or the inmates at the jail, and I'm proud that everybody's working together to see those kind of improvements being made.
In Whitley County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
White says he's trying to keep folks safe in the county while also keeping things up to date. Have you ever wanted to serve in a sheriff's office in some capacity? Well, now here's your chance. Officials with the Wise County Sheriff's Office in Virginia are trying to get the word out about a volunteer position. Some of the responsibilities include adhering to guidelines and policies of the Sheriff's Office and engaging in friendly conversations. For more about this, you can go to the Sheriff's Office's Facebook page.
Well, we are tracking mild weather to continue into this weekend. Your first alert forecast coming up after this break. Plus,
how the Breathitt County Public Library is trying to keep kids interested in books.